This story is about two senior citizens going down the Grand Canyon 277 miles by water, one mile beneath the rim of the canyon, over practically the full distance. The trip took 8 days on the water. It started in Las Vegas, and the reason that John Hefner and I did it is we were at dinner one night talking about things we had not accomplished on our bucket list, and found out that we had been doing the Grand Canyon and the Colorado River as one of our major things left to do before we go to the pearly gates. And we contacted a number of companies, and we found that the Grand Canyon Expedition Company, which had been doing this for 50 years, and offered a 7-day and 8-day rafting trips. Anyhow, I called them, John talked to them, and we decided that we would take a trip, and they had openings on one which was going to include a geologist from San Diego State College in San Diego with us on the whole trip. So we would learn about the geology of the canyon, which is probably the oldest thing besides the Blue Ridge Mountains there is in the United States. We signed up January or February of that year to go on this May trip, which was near the end of May. Started in Las Vegas, and we had to fly out the night before, spend the night in the hotel, get a review by the company on what we were going to do, get some gear from them, and find out that we had to get up at 4 o'clock the next morning in order to be able to get on the bus by 5 and down to the put-in point, which was just below Powell Dam from Lake Powell. And that's where the trip started, and that's the first place you could get into the river south of the dam. The trip really was about 100 miles each day. Sometimes only 70 or 80, depending upon where we were going to spend the night. The weather at that time was still cool, so having our full clothing on and our waterproofed dress also, and then the life preserver kept us warm as we started off. We knew we were going to be hitting a little bit less than 200 recorded rapids as we went all the way to Lake Mead. And some of them, we were told, were in the 8 to 9 categories. And this is a picture here of me and my kids going down a Category 5 rapid, which is on the Chattooga River. It's the biggest rapid that they will let you go over. And that, of course, whet our interest, because going over something twice that to us would be quite a challenge, especially at our age. So John was the number 2 oldest, and I wound up being number 3. And so the guides made sure that we were well protected and taken care of. The trip was through sunshine. There were nights where we camped that our tents got soaked because of rain, and we got soaked. But you always dry off during the trip. Putting our tent, and I have pictures which you will see, putting a tent together and getting all of our gear stowed after a night was something that we learned how to do. Took us an hour to begin with, and by the time we finished the trip, we could do it all within 30 minutes. Sleeping bags, cots, and it was unique in that the Park Service requires that anything you take into the Grand Canyon has to come out with you. It doesn't matter what. So we had a porta potty that they carried on the raft for all 30 of us, and they took that out, set it up, and you stood in line. And it had a name because it was one of our friends on the trip. Anyhow, the thing was quite an adventure. It's compared to visiting the pyramids or going to special places in Iceland I've been to that have tremendous history, and the fact that we did it at our age was quite satisfying.